Hey everybody. So it's been a little while since my last update. Actually, it's been more like 2.5 years, so sorry about that. Several of you have reached out to ask kind of what's going on, which is really, really nice. It's always great getting emails from people that are excited about the project, thank you for that. So I figured it's been a little while, so I should probably give an update on what's going on. So the short version is we have started renovations, which is super exciting. But I'll get back to that in a moment. I do want to explain what happened and why it took so long to get to this particular point. Just to start at the beginning, my wife and I bought an old Italian farmhouse. It is four very lovely 400-year-old stone walls, a collapsing roof, no plumbing, no electricity or anything like that, but it does have an amazing view and hopefully a lot of potential. That was about 3 years ago or so. And then we were all set to basically find a builder and start reconstruction. Unfortunately, there was two things that held us up. The first thing was the stock market dipped quite severely, and I was funding this out of investments, basically, and we couldn't find a builder. So Italy had this economic incentive program to spur basically the construction industry. It worked too well, and you couldn't get a builder to respond to your messages. So that essentially took almost 2 years to resolve. So we didn't do nothing at the time. We did have a geologist look at the house and the area around the house. We are quite high up on terraces, so there's always risks of, say, landslides. It's a pretty seismically active area. Fortunately, the report came back very well. So there was some pretty neat charts and graphs and so on, which I'll show. But all in all, we got a clean bill of health. The second thing was we had an engineer take a look at the actual structure itself. Will we need to rebuild any walls? Did we have to underpin the foundation such as it is? And again, that all came back really well. So we got very lucky in both of those respects. But that essentially was really all that was happening for about 2 years. Fortunately, the stock market recovered and the economic incentive program ended. Jumping forward to essentially late summer last year, we got some quotes from builders. They were decent, kind of around what we were expecting, which was fortunate. Inflation has kind of eased a bit in the building sector there, which is very fortunate. And we signed a contract, and they actually put up scaffolding in September of last year. So they've done a whole bunch of work, and I'll actually share all of the things they've done. So I have lots of photos and so on. I'll do a separate video because I want to go through kind of all the things that, all the specific projects. But in short, they're replacing one of the floors, the roof, a whole bunch of other little things, and putting in a septic tank and system. So that takes us to about kind of October, September of last year, so last fall. And what I want to close out on is a road trip that we did down to our house. So every other time we've gone down to Italy, this part of Italy, we've always flown. But we have pets, so we want to be able to do road trips. So we basically plotted out our road trip. So it's around 17 hours in total. And you go through some pretty neat parts of the world. So I wanted to make this basically a vacation. We started from Berlin, and then we went down to Austria. We stayed in an area called Kufstein, which is in the Alps. So we literally hiked up to our hotel. It was about an hour and a half hike. And it's just absolutely stunning. The area we were in was in a little bit of a valley, and then we could hike up to this beautiful restaurant and had an amazing view and phenomenal food. And our dog absolutely loved it. So he loved running around, staring at the cows. So we stayed there for a few nights, did a lot of hiking around, and then we drove down to Lago Garda. So you've probably heard of Lake Como. Lago Garda is pretty close. It's larger, but it's not quite as fancy. Wandered around that area, which is also just absolutely beautiful. Ate some great food. And then we continued down to Lucca, met with our architect, the builder, and so on. And then on the way back, we went through Switzerland, which is just absolutely staggering, both in the beauty and in the cost. And then we stayed in a small town in Bayern in Bavaria just for a few days to kind of relax and chill. And and it was a phenomenal road trip. Part of the reason why I wanted to get this video out now is that we're now doing that again. So in a few weeks, we're actually driving back down. So as I said, I'll have another video quite soon. It'll be basically charting kind of the work that's been done to the house up until about now. I look forward to sharing with you more, and thanks for tuning in. It's really cool actually to have people that are messaging me about the house and are excited about it. It's actually really There was a period where it was really frustrating with the stock market and not being able to find a builder, and it was really heartening actually that people are like interested in this. So I'll leave you with a little moment of zen. So when we were near our house, which is about an hour from Mediterranean, we went down to the beach there, rented a little umbrella, and then just sat and enjoyed the view. So this is Moro, our little puppy, chilling on my lap as we enjoyed the sound of the Mediterranean.